Caitlyn, Tony, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Before we get started, so you guys are the boss at work, but is the real boss at home Daisy?
Absolutely.
Yes. There is no question about that. And then I'll be second.
Rules the roost.
Yes.
Tony, us girl dads, we get left behind.
100% we do. Yep.
What are we going to do? We're going to have to get a committee together for us.
Support club.
Yeah. So obviously, like we mentioned Daisy there, you guys, your businesses were established long before becoming parents, am I right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been both in business?
I'm 5 years this year.
Wow.
Probably six
You
and a
have to
half.
count it out. And how long have you guys been together as a couple?
8 years
8.
this month.
Wow. Big
I
plans to
know.
celebrate.
I know. Do you know what? We haven't even.
Usually forget it.
You get past that.
Tony's something planned, I know.
You better.
I do now.
I feel like, you know, whenever you're married, it's like, well, do you celebrate the initial
That is very
anniversary
true.
or do you celebrate your marriage? So
That could be a question if
I know.
if anybody out there has a guide as to what should be done.
celebrate all.
As far as a woman's concerned, you celebrate both.
That is true. Right answer. Because I was going to say, we've April and August now to remember, and it's like, actually the April one tends to just get
Yeah.
forgotten about, and it's actually, see, this year, to be honest, we didn't even, the wedding got forgotten about as well. Like,
Yeah,
was too busy.
I know. We are quite the same, to be fair. I think last year, I pretty much forgot. I mean, you bear it in mind. I think it's only I know because I've had the conversation with someone recently and I went, it's September. It's on our anniversary. But between birthdays and everything and with Daisy and with her going to nursery, all those kind of things that happen, especially at this time of year, everything else just gets left aside.
It's the balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
So running your businesses, both were established before Daisy was born. Her arrival, did that change your outlooks on business and what your goals were, what was driving you? Or was it, quite similar? Did you have to adapt much?
So for me, I still say I'm winging it. I feel like we all are, hopefully.
Totally agree.
If you say that you know everything, then I want to know where you learnt it. But I think for us, well, obviously I can only speak on myself, but when Daisy came along, we had a far better routine. So at home, Tony's mum probably thought I never fed him before Daisy came along because she'd phone at 9, 10 at night, what he's doing, I'm making dinner. And you're only having your dinner now. And she couldn't wrap her head around that we didn't have a 9 to 5 routine.
Yeah.
And because for me, I've always had more than one business and more than one revenue streams and things going on. So whether it was doing content on social media or whether it was doing makeup and doing weddings or whether it was by Caitlyn, which was a side hustle, we didn't leave the house at 9 o'clock and come home at 5 and have the food shop done. And so when Daisy came along, we were always up at a similar time. We were getting breakfast. Me and her were getting breakfast together. I was doing the school run or nursery or wherever she was going. And then we were home. We had to feed her, so of course we had to feed ourselves. So for us,
Of course.
it really helped build a routine.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, like, how do you manage having Daisy and having business? But actually I feel like our life is better organised
better,
now,
yeah.
isn't it? Like our life is probably slower with her, which is bizarre in ways. But
It used to be a case of who was going to crack first at night.
yeah.
We both be working in 2 separate rooms.
Yeah.
And you'd be looking at the clock, who's going to crack first. And then it used to get to ridiculous
Two
time. Maybe
workaholics.
Yes.
12:30, 1. And you're like, this will be a bit mad now. Come on.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're both a bit stubborn there. Who's going to give up
Oh,
first?
yeah.
It definitely used to be that way, yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned how stubborn I am now having Daisy because she is the most stubborn person
Yeah.
I've ever met. And I hate that it comes from me.
Well, here, it's a quality, you admit that. I have to say, I was going to say today about girls. Obviously, I have 2 girls, Emmy and Izzy, 4 and 2. And like, I don't have the experience of being the father of a boy, but like, I feel like girls are like, they are,
Hardcore.
yeah. What's Jenny's phrase? It's a nice way of putting stubborn. Strong-willed, I think, is the
Yes.
phrase. And I'm like, I do love it. Maybe just when you're a bit older.
I love when people
Maybe a
say
wee bit older.
inquisitive instead of nosy.
Inquis-
Daisy
Yeah.
noses at everyone, like you be in Tesco and just like that. And people say inquisitive, like, oh, that's a really polite way of saying that.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's really not inquisitive.
Yeah. So obviously you mentioned there about the businesses. One thing I find interesting for us that are self-employed, having kids, like how did maternity, paternity work, if at all? Did it exist for you? How quickly were you back to work?
Quick. I mean, for
2 days.
yeah, I
No way.
I went the
Yeah.
first night I stayed in the hospital. Second night I went home and came back.
Yeah.
And I walked around the curtain and she was working.
was on the laptop in the bed, and they came around to discharge me, and she goes, "Are you free a minute?" And I went, and I was polite about it, but I said, "Oh, would you just give me a wee second?" Because we were launching a product a few days later, and I was doing like a flyer to go in the orders that I need. At the time, it was only 2 of us in the business. It was me and Catherine. So if I wasn't doing it, it was another thing for her to do that she just didn't have the time to do at the time.
Yeah.
So I worked up, I think, until the day before Daisy was born. I had an emergency section with Daisy, and I was working in the hospital bed. But that and I know people now, and I do probably, I don't necessarily kick myself, but now I appreciate, okay, you really do need to enjoy those moments. But she was sleeping in the cot beside. I had just obviously went through major surgery, and I was lying there. So I thought, well, do I try and reach over and lift her in, or do I just sit in the laptop? Because I've got things to do, and if I don't do them, no one will. So I remember there's photos of her like within days of being home, and he's on one side of the sofa with his notebook and laptop, and I'm on one side with my laptop, and she's sleeping in the middle, like fresh out. And
I think at that
That's the
stage,
reality.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, we're not used to doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I always knew I wouldn't have a maternity necessarily.
Yeah.
The makeup side of me, and I still do wedding makeup and things. So
Yeah.
I was still doing those when she was born. I had a wedding when she was 11 days old in Ballymena.
Yeah.
You brought me, didn't my mum babysat Daisy for a couple of hours. Tony drove me to Ballymena, and that was 10, 11 days, and I went, I'm getting back to driving tomorrow because I can't be lifted and laid. So it was things like that I just...
That was somewhat similar for me. Obviously, I was back doing an event about 10 days later. Jenny was obviously off, but she's employed. So it's a slightly different scenario. But I think you've hinted at it there. It's just the reality of actually working for yourself. It's who is actually going to do the work, particularly if you're at a stage in the business where you are at the forefront in the coal face.
Do you think there's anyone in business really that is an entrepreneur that's able to take maternity? I mean, my girls get between 9 months and a year.
Yeah.
Who is it realistic? Probably not.
I think also you've hinted at it there though. I'm not sure most people built like that would actually want to either or could.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Being the different side of it. I know now since Emmy was born the last few years, I've built my work life that I'm off on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I look after whatever girl is needing looked after and spend time with them, and that's great. And I've done that through, good hires in the business and people I can rely on. But you're off, but you're still like you're
always
not off. But it's nice to have that time. And I keep thinking, particularly when they're young, I'm not going to regret having that time.
Yeah.
And they'll be up and at school before you know it. And it's only really like 4 or 5 years.
A couple of years. I was the same. I was off a Tuesday up until September, really, wasn't it?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm only back to work full time as well. I've always been full time, but not full time.
Yeah.
But I'm now in the office 5 days, and really now that we're kind of 5 years in, and I'm at a really pivotal point where I'm really in the thick of it. For me, I really struggle with the Tuesday off, so I'm really curious how you find a Wednesday, because I feel like I got into it on a Monday and then I was out for a day.
Do you mean as in the day of the week?
Yeah, I felt deflated, and it was like, oh.
I used to be a Tuesday randomly, and I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
And Wednesday's a bit better, I feel, because it's like you've had a couple of days.
Yes.
But still, I just, I leave on a Tuesday, and I'm like, there's just still so much going on.
I know.
And it's leaving to-do list, trying to make sure people are doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think any day is easy, but it's trying to switch off and enjoy the moments if you can.
Yeah.
It's funny, you hinted at it again there about being in the moment or enjoying things. Dean and I discussed this, like we find it very difficult. I don't know if it's our personality types, but to sort of like let go or really embrace like big wins or like you got a big client, you did a really big job or whatever it is. Do you guys find that, or is it my sort of mindset is I'm always on to the next thing?
Yeah,
so it's like,
I agree.
That was great, but
what do you think? What's your take on that? Do you celebrate? We kind of would and wouldn't.
I wouldn't say celebrate,
no.
I know it's not
before
like
you finish something, I'm usually on to something new.
with your work with the fit outs and interiors and stuff. I'm sure you can be like, that's.
Yeah, we actually had a reality check
really
last
well
week. We went to visit one prize guy.
Yeah.
That was last Christmas. We finished that, and then I hadn't been there since.
Yeah.
So 8 months, and we went back last week. They said that was a big reality check.
Yeah.
Kind of what we had done in there.
Class.
Which is good to see. That does sit well with you, but again, you can't really sit back and dwell on things. You're constantly. I would say I'm usually working at about 6 months ahead.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to be, I suppose.
we were on holidays in March and I was thinking of Christmas.
Yeah. And you're quite quiet, so you wouldn't necessarily, like, on the way here, you said about that thing that you're trying to work on at the minute with a job, and he'll tell me things and we acknowledge it between us. Tony's not the type that's going to run around and go, oh my God, I got this great contract, and if things are good or not, it's more we acknowledge it between us.
Try to keep things close.
Yeah. I don't really, and it's something I'm really working on. We have our Monday morning meeting in work, me and all the girls, and we always do a win on a Monday from the week before. So whether it's minor, could be someone's got a new car, or someone's just had a good week, or I think one of mine recently was Caitlyn had a good week, and a few of the girls had been off and sick and stuff, and it was just in case that they were there that week, and that was a positive.
I had a great lunch in Fox's Den.
Yeah, every day. And I think we're trying to make a point. I know myself, it's something I'm not good at. I found out recently, this year I got ADHD, so it's a big trait of ADHD, is you don't pat yourself in the back. And a lot of it is that approval nearly from other people. So I'm really trying to recognise it, because there is big things, definitely obviously in both of our careers, but mine are probably a bit more public and a bit more something that I would shout about, whereas Tony's a lot more private and things like that. So I do try.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I'm sitting thinking, is it a Northern Irish thing at times? Because I always
100%.
remember my dad saying to me, people like you to do well, but not too well.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we feel that if you get a big contract or you do a certain job, or you've done something really well, earned a certain amount of money, whatever the thing might be, it seems boastful to maybe talk about it, when actually I've flipped my mindset to, if it's factual and you're just telling.
Yes, exactly.
And you can do it in a way that's not boastful.
Yeah.
It's like, did you secure that contract and do that job and execute it really well? I did, yeah. So actually putting that on your socials it's an advertisement for your business.
Exactly.
So it's like telling people what you do, and I think we have really struggled with that over the years. And actually I think could we have accelerated our growth quicker had we told a bit more, and we're trying to get a bit better at that. So,
do you know what has really helped me recently? LinkedIn, for that, because LinkedIn is such a positive place that people do go on and they talk about their wins and things they've done, and I think, why don't I do that? So I'm trying to make a point now. For example, even we were speaking briefly before about the rebrand sale or shutter up sale we done on Sunday. And I had those conversations with my mentor before I came here, and she said, how was it? And I told her the revenue that we generated, and I told her the success and how many people we had through the door and how many SKUs we sold. That's obviously something I'm not going to go and tell my friends when I meet them for coffee, but with people like yourself in business, or people that
it's the right
recognise that. Yeah. And I think it's just knowing your place and knowing where to say it. And I'll phone my family and I'll tell them, and my brother, he's in marketing, so the likes of him, he's like, that's really great. My other brother that's in construction, I probably won't feel the need to, because he just maybe isn't similar. So I think it's definitely a Northern Ireland thing. I think it's definitely just probably the imposter syndrome side of it, that you don't really feel like it's always appropriate either.
But I do feel now that there's more of a there's always been people in business and business owners, and if you want to call ourselves entrepreneurs now, it's a bigger grouping and there's more people doing it. So it's like, if you can support each other, like, it costs very little. And I remember being younger, and there was people, I'd be like, oh, I don't like them, I don't like this. It was actually just jealousy because of the things that they were pursuing, and I hadn't quite got there yet.
Which
and
is good to recognise.
I can identify that now. You mentioned a business mentor.
Yes.
I have a coach that I would speak to, and for, something similar, he would message me every week and be like, acknowledge your wins. What's going on? How do you find having a mentor?
I love it.
Yeah.
So I had one, it was like a government thing that I got support with last year, and I can't remember, was it something like 20? I qualified for the maximum amount of hours, say for talk's sake, I think it was 18. When that ended, it was like a breakup. I think as well, when, you have a business partner and you've always got that person there to bounce things off, and I have Tony for things, but also it's hard. I have to appreciate that Tony has a long day or a long week, and there's sometimes it's not always necessary to bounce things off. And also when I get home at night and he'll go, how was your day? And I'll go, yeah, good. I couldn't actually be, I don't have the mental capacity.
You have to drag conversation a lot of the time.
Very interesting, because I was going to ask with you both, building these well-known successful brands, do you draw a line? Do you talk about business at home? Does your businesses overlap? Do you help each other out? Or
because I have different answers. I'll let Tony answer this first.
We do, but I kind of know when to not ask.
Yes, fair.
Yeah.
Like if Caitlyn's doing a TikTok live or something, I know there's just going to be silence in the house for 2 hours after it. which is good at times too, but it's right enough if you're talking constantly for 2 hours and then I come home
I've never experienced a TikTok live, so
it's a lot of what I do is quite mentally draining.
Yep.
And I don't know, obviously I'm not in Tony's shoes, but whenever he's on the tools, it can be maybe quite isolating because you're just kind of in your own thoughts, doing your own thing and you're busy. Whereas when I'm speaking constantly, whether it's 2 or 8 or 10 or 12 hours was our longest one, when you do something like that for 12 hours, you give so much physically that you need to decompress after, because I can't tell him how great it was. And then the weeks maybe after, I'll tell him different bits and pieces about it. But
excuse my ignorance, is that a bit like a QVC? Like
that
you're selling, right? Okay, so that's like high energy.
Selling for however many.
Was the 12-hour thing like a charitable thing, or was that because you wanted to?
No, it was for us. I mean, our own charity. Yeah. No, it was. It was a brand's birthday. It was the 4th birthday we done, and it was our most successful 12 hours we've done. I talked about it and spoke about it. I suppose this is a business podcast, so I probably can in a sense.
Yeah.
So we went on, we done 12 hours. There was about 10 of us, I think, alternated. I was on it quite a lot, being I suppose when I'm a founder-led company, it's very much my face,
yes,
digital first. So I was on it a lot. It is essentially QVC. It's just selling. But I mean, they can be very successful. Sometimes they can be quite deflating because the problem is you've got a screen in front of you with the figures.
Oh, okay.
Of exactly what revenue you're generating. So the first one we generated 32,000 that day within 12 hours, which was to sell a physical product.
Yeah.
Is hard going, and now I can accept that. And I know that it's a very intense thing. But you can do other ones that are maybe 8 hours, and I think whenever you get that big win of that number, you nearly want that. Obviously, every time you get greedy. So yes, it can be quite mentally intense.
So those nights it's silence, some comfort food.
Yeah.
Hope Daisy's went to
I come home half the time and he's in bed. I'm sitting in the kitchen just
like last night.
Probably covering glitter, sweat.
That's just a normal day.
But yeah, I mean, it's really enjoyable, and that's one of the really exciting parts of my job.
Yeah.
With the likes of that was on TikTok, it then becomes quite public knowledge on TikTok, and something that they recognise because obviously TikTok take a percentage of our income on the platform. So it you get a lot of recognition and brand recognition for it, and obviously with our team too, it's a big success for us. It's not so much just selling.
And with the other girls, do they get involved in that? Or they're quite comfortable with it?
Days like that, everyone, no matter what you do, whether it's pick and packing or logistics or
no choice, everyone
gets pulled into those. If it's a bit less intense, like the last night I went in for a couple of hours, it's just me in the warehouse packing orders, and it's pleasant, and it's just there's only 2 of us do that.
Very good. On the social media side of things then, obviously you're very much social led and comfortable with that. I was watching your stories before you come in this morning, and it's just that you're so casual, and it's just like updating people in your life. Do you feel it's obviously such a big part of modern culture? Is there a pressure with social media to constantly be on, and do you have a balance there as to what you're willing to share and not share?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've been doing social media from really the kind of OG days. Really, I started YouTube at 14, 15. Then onto Instagram before really kind of influencer and creators. That was obviously an audience, and that was really a thing. For me, I've got it to a really comfortable point that I know there's certain things I will share about our life or our house or our marriage. It's quite funny that people will probably think they know a lot about us, and actually they know so little, especially about Tony, because he's really not. I mean, he posts once a year on my birthday, and that's the height of it. So it's I've got it to a really comfortable point.
At least he does that.
I know. Well, that's it. Sometimes a few days late. But I think because I suppose my business is social media. If we didn't have social media, I wouldn't have the platform, I wouldn't sell a product, and I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably work for THV Contracts. So, I have to do it.
You pretty much are working at the minute a wee bit.
Just
getting there.
I know. We always have conversations about work and things that we can do for each other.
Yeah.
But, I suppose there is a pressure, but if I haven't posted in a day or 3 days or 5 days, I don't feel the pressure that I have to post, because I just know I'll post whenever the time's right and it's suitable, especially with having Daisy, and there's that boundary of things that I'll post, and people don't really tend to know our routine, and it's just finding where we're safe what I'm comfortable sharing. What's right for you. And I give enough that I don't feel like I've ever given people a reason to judge my parenting, my marriage, or any of those really secret things to me, I suppose. And you're quite similar. I mean, you don't post, so
well, I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the side that you don't hear about. Yeah. Not personally from Caitlyn's account.
Yeah.
Which that was enough to put me off.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be very.
I do use it obviously, but for work it's great. But I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be very dark.
That would eat away at me slowly.
Because that's, I suppose, similar to running your own business at times. Like, it's a kind of you're putting yourself out there, you're putting a spotlight on you, and then with social media, it's maybe a bit more intense. And I mean, growing up with my dad being well known, it was like people felt this. It was like you said, there was like they knew you without knowing you.
It comes with the job.
Yeah, but it was like they felt they knew him, they knew me, and they could also pass comment on him, and it was like, really, I don't go to you and say your dad's such and such. He's a postman, like whatever.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting tool.
I think it's just how evil, and you'll know firsthand how evil people can be and how dangerous really it can become. And there is this nearly like public thing about influencers. They hate the term. I mean, you get any of the Northern Irish media outlets putting out a post about influencer awards, and all you have to do is look at the comments to know people hate the term influencer and what are they, and no idea who they are. But I think just it shouldn't come with a job, obviously. I mean, nothing should come with any job, but unfortunately it is just the part of it that you just have to really learn to navigate and deal with. And I have boundaries, and I know people can pass silly comments and silly remarks, and it's easy to just ignore, but then there is a lot more intense things that then can become really dangerous.
At the end of the day, it says more about them than it does anything.
Definitely.
But that's easy to say, because I know with our businesses, and be the same with yours, like reviews, and we can have, like, honestly, my phone will ping most days and it'll be review Fox's Den, 5 star, 5 star, 4 star, 5 star, and I'm like, brilliant, 1 star, and that is the one that I know. What is that? What happened? Who is that person? Then you tend to go on, and it's like they've left 50 reviews. It's like, I don't usually leave a review. All your reviews are 1 star and whatever. So
I always go back to, and it'll maybe cringe you, but I always go back to the term that you can lie down flat for someone to walk over you, and you'll never be flat enough. And I think it's so, no matter what you do, you are never, ever going to please everyone. No matter if you make a batch of soup, you're going to get someone that didn't like it. And I think no matter what we do, whether it's social media or Tony does a job for something or I sell a product, you cannot please everyone, and that's something you just have to learn to accept. And
100%, and the sooner you can do that, the better, because your products will be for a certain type of person, a certain audience. Tony, your style of things, or a certain type of people. I remember when I had my craft beer, Gallopers, it was so like close to my heart. I was like, oh my goodness, we're out doing samplings. I remember doing a sampling in the Morning Star in Belfast, and like we're talking, like old man's pub.
Yes, I know what it is.
In watching, I think it was around Cheltenham. They were watching the horse racing. And they tried the Gallopers, and it was a golden ale, 4.3%. It was supposed to be quite like a lager, like a crossover kind of thing in the craft beer. And this guy tried it, and he was just like, tastes like dishwater. And I was like, I'm like, I felt like hurt. And then all of a sudden I was like, what do you usually drink? And he was like, Harp. And I'm like,
there's the problem,
okay, like, and it just clicked with me then. It's like, well, you drink Harp. I could claim that that's dishwater. But that's your thing. That's what you like.
You have to recognise, I suppose, when you want to take it on as constructive criticism.
Yes.
And when then you just rule it out, because you're going to get that happy medium. And it's with anything. I mean, you could do a job in a house or wherever and might not be to someone's taste. And it is quite like, I think both of us are obviously quite creative, and especially doing makeup and create makeup and doing interiors and homes and things. There is a certain style and a taste, and if that's not your style, that's perfectly fine. You'll find your style elsewhere. And it's just, you just have to recognise that, haven't you?
100%. It can just be difficult to navigate that, because it does feel really personal at times.
It does.
I think particularly probably as the founder or like the owner of the business.
But then is that not a good thing that your heart's in it? Do you know, there's people probably that don't care.
If you didn't care, it might be worse.
So I think it's important that you kind of just know what ones you want to take to heart and what ones you want to act on, and then what ones you just want to go, they were having a bad day.
That's very true. And obviously with Tony's business, did you fit out Caitlyn's warehouse unit?
We did, yeah.
Must be handy having a husband
Very
like that.
handy.
Yeah.
Mates race.
We actually got a message yesterday looking an upgrade of some sort.
From Caitlyn? Yeah.
Need a bigger table.
So it's there.
I actually need to get that kitchen ordered too, but we'll go back to that.
Tony's done more work in my house than I have.
I know, honestly.
I am not.
I really wish I
DIY-oriented,
could say the
full
same
stop.
because I can't get anything done. we
now, in
have a
fairness, you got
snag
a house.
list. It's ridiculous. And we actually have to go, right, this weekend we're doing, and we have to pick one minor thing because, as you know, I mean, it's so hard to get things done in your own life, but people think it's great.
Kind of comes last.
Always last in our house.
Do you know what's really baffling? Like, there's things like bits of like coving or paneling or whatever it is in our house that are missing, right? Different wee things that we need to sort, just wee snags. Somehow he got a gym fitted out, TV up in the gym, whole gym painted, nice fancy ceiling, pool table put in, and that somehow shimmied up in the list. And I have a light hanging from my utility room. It's just a switch, just needs 2 screws. I don't have that type of screw. And I may as well just go on eBay and buy them, but that has hung there for a year now. Wow. But he's had a full gym fitted out. It's really baffling.
Sounds like there's something magical at play there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know.
Speaking of the gym, in terms of like lifestyle and stuff, do you guys find time for hobbies, fitness, things like that, or is life just?
Well, that's why the gym came around.
I think that's a massive thing. If you can make life convenient.
Yeah.
Close to your work, near, sometimes at home it's a bit too convenient.
Physically meters from the front to the back door, and I'd go.
Our last house, we had gym stuff there, but it wasn't the gym at all.
Yeah.
In the new house, that was January, wasn't it? We just decided. I was paying two memberships.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting time to go. They didn't open early enough. Didn't get time to go at night. It's hard to go at 9 o'clock at night too, so.
Agreed.
I kind of worked it out. Well, it was going to happen anyway, but to try and sell it was over 5 years. Paying gym membership, we could have our own gym.
Fair.
So we do. We ended up, was a double garage, is now a gym and all the rest. It's there.
And who uses it more?
I would.
I find it really hard when I get out of the swing of it.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to get into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially how I'm wired, probably slightly different to Tony. I really struggle. But once I do it and I know I enjoy it, for me, Tony's been getting up. This man can cope with 3 hours sleep. I can't. I really wish I could. So he'll get up at 5:30, go out to the gym, go to work all day, come home at night, we do dinner, we get Daisy to bed, and then after, when she's in bed at 7:30, 8, maybe 8:30 if it depending on how the nights went, that's when I'd be going out to the gym. And at that point,
it's very hard to do that.
I can't.
It's only been the past few months I've started going early.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get in the routine at all year, just struggled.
So hard.
Yeah. Then felt like it was a waste of money doing the gym.
Yeah.
It just wasn't being used.
Yeah.
Used for a dumping ground for a short time, and then I actually took on a mentor too. Not a business mentor.
Yeah.
Like a personal one.
Yeah.
That was more to, and it's proven itself for me to switch off.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
I could not switch off.
Yeah.
Got a second phone, so the work phone.
Not
100% at the time, but
game
it's still there, but definitely one of the best things I've done.
I think a lot of people crack a joke about having 2 phones, etc. But actually, I've heard a lot of people say that.
It is great.
Big time.
It's
actually,
just knowing when you can kind of
like have social media on one phone.
Yeah.
Take it away, because if
I
you use,
couldn't.
well, a lot of people that I know will say, and I've been guilty of this. I need social media for my business. Okay, if you need that, put it on the work phone. And then
yes, but what if something happens? Your
personal.
work phone's in the drawer and you're cancelled over something. You've done something's wrong, and your phone. Do you know? And it's things like that.
Just toe the line, Caitlyn.
It's last night we had an ad when there was ads running on socials, and for whatever reason, it's pulled products from a catalogue of products I had 6 years ago before by Caitlyn. So really, really tragic. And this was running, and we were paying ads, and it was running, and
but this is stuff
panicked.
you don't have.
We no longer have.
Yeah.
Like random stuff that I just. Not even that I don't want to be associated with, because they were the beginning days of by Caitlyn to help with
but it's
the
not you,
cash
it's
flow.
not you now.
No, and it's very different to where the brand's at, and I one of the girls put it in the work group chat, and I'd seen things going on, so I was able to jump straight on my personal phone, get logged in. So for me, I need it. I could never.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep. I even, like, if there's days I go to bed really early if I'm wrecked, and I'll text Catherine, the works for by Caitlyn, she's one of my best friends, and I'll text her going, I'm going to bed really early. If anything happens, just try and ring me. Phone Tony. I just get that fear of like, what if I switch off in the world and something happens? It's probably something I'll never go. But
then that's probably the world, as you said, from a young age. You've been very used to that.
Exactly. But having 2 phones is definitely, it's good. A lot more for Tony as well.
I have no work stuff on my personal phone. Not one thing.
So you found that really beneficial?
Massive,
Yeah.
I think the first time ever, in the last 6 years, we went on holidays and I was able to leave a phone in the room.
Class.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't look at it.
No.
I did look at it.
Well, you're always, I think, naturally you're going to have to,
You just leave it lying in the room.
Yeah.
For almost, that was 2 weeks.
Brilliant.
That was a big change.
No one just on the weekend, you can just set it in the cupboard. It's on loud. If it rings, it right. You can check. Is it important? No, it can wait. But it's whenever your phone is also your lifeline and your work, you can never stop it ringing.
Yeah.
And people will phone it crazy times of night to ask things. Whereas with me, I don't necessarily get phone calls.
Sunday mornings, Saturday nights.
Yeah.
It was going Friday nights, Saturday nights, people asking questions, which is fair enough. But
I know, I suppose that's
if someone's messaging at midnight on Saturday night, looking something,
it's when
probably influenced.
People are free, so they're probably contacting.
I'd be that type of person because I'd be going, I'm going to do that right now because I will forget. Yeah. Whereas I see the other side of it. But I think it's more so you feel less guilt just not going near it. Probably
that's great.
You feel like
because I was gonna say if you see something, I totally agree with the whole you could look and be like that's not important. It doesn't need dealt with right now. But in your head, that's there.
Yes.
Yep. So actually, is it easier just to deal with it now?
That's what I used to do,
And then so it's almost like if I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes about this is maybe bad. We have a postal address in the city centre for work. BT1 postcode, whatever. So we'll get post sent there for one of the businesses. And, you get letters being like, I'll actually go pick it up today, to be fair. But post there for you. And there's just times I'm like, I don't want to go pick that up because it's probably not good.
Brown leather.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, but if I just don't know what it is, then I'll deal with it when I pick it up.
That's right. I keep them in a pile, and then when our bookkeeper comes in, I just hand her the pile and go, because it's going to be, whenever you're past 20, is there any letter that comes to you that's positive? No.
Very.
There's no need.
I got a insurance letter back the other day that was a bit of money back. It was like 36.70.
Getting money back?
Oh. Yeah, we changed changed vans or something, and it was like you'd overpaid. It was like 36.78 or something. I was like, brilliant.
I know.
And the annoying thing is it's a check, so I have to go and cash it.
No, you can do them now on your phone.
Can you?
Yeah. On your banking app.
I'll have to teach
Scan
me.
it.
Oh, flip, I didn't know.
Modern day.
Wow, modern world. I know. I'm not used to it.
I know.
In terms of go slightly businessy here, not to mention cost of living, but obviously it's a big part of everything. Yeah. With your businesses, supplies, contractors, etc., has that affected you a lot? And particularly you employ staff, minimum wage increases and things. Has that affected your business in the last sort of 12 months?
Yes and no. I suppose it naturally affects everything because even we're spending more, so you need to be making more.
Yeah.
I think with me, a lot of my manufacturers are in China, so a lot of the things that we do can be affected by things going on in other parts of the world or at sea or things like that, and freight charges and
was
all
Brexit
those
a
things.
big thing? Was Brexit a big thing for you then? Important.
But I think with my business, there is always a lot of different things. Even different seasons. Never mind the cost of living, but there's different seasons. Or come September, people are buying uniforms, they're not buying makeup, or they're saving for holidays and things like that.
Yeah.
So yes, but my argument is, which maybe shouldn't always be my argument at work, that there's always going to be people out there with a disposable income. There's always people there with money to spend, so we just need to find them. And
it's true.
Naturally, you're always going to get, of course, minimum wage increases, and they're going to come anyway. Probably maybe more so when you work with materials and stuff.
Yeah, ours does fluctuate quite a bit.
Went a bit skew for a while, didn't it? Lots of different bits and pieces.
After COVID, it kind of...
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, we don't see a massive jump in it, materials-wise, in our game.
Yeah.
But people who we've done work for before, years, if they're come back and you price, their initial thought is, that's a lot dearer than what I thought maybe. But they do appreciate that you haven't done it in 3 years for them maybe.
That's it.
And we do hold ourselves quite high in pricing. There's no, if somebody wants to see how you got that price, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's no hidden cost with it. Or
cloaking.
I would say with you though, you're not a joiner and you're very creative.
Yeah.
And even, for example, prize guy, I mean, the attention to detail, well, in any small job, whether it's paneling in a house or something as big as a hotel or some of the massive jobs you've done, Tony is also very creative, and that all, it's part of being an artist, really, and a bit like me doing makeup. I probably was never the cheapest in the area, but that it's your skill, and that's something that people can't take away from you. So it's just finding...
People do understand, though. It's not...
Yeah.
The physical labour side of our job is only maybe 40% of a project.
Yeah, well, it's the standard
It's
of...
the hours in the office, the back and forward.
We find that similar with events.
Yeah.
People automatically, with nightcap, they just associate it with drinks. So they get a price and they go, oh, well, it's very expensive per head per drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but you're not factoring in that I'm coming to a field in some remote part of Northern Ireland to do this event, bringing staff, bringing a bar,
it's also how
bringing glasses.
respectful your staff and that kind of thing, isn't it? And then it's
Yeah.
how you go in and manage a job and do the work, and how you leave someone's home, and the feeling that they get after, and it's the feeling that people get after being served by one of your bar staff, for example.
Yeah.
You want people to have that good feeling, and you
Yeah.
could charge less and pay less, but people aren't going to get that feeling.
But as you said, it's the experience from the beginning
Yeah.
to the end.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not
that's it, yeah.
it's not just that paneling on the wall or the
Yeah.
drink they get served at the
No.
event or the product that they buy from you. It's actually
Totally.
the full experience,
Yeah.
from jumping on a website or the first point of contact. And I've learned recently that it's people need to understand they need to appreciate the value in
Yeah.
what you're bringing. And if they don't, maybe they're not the right customer.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
what
it.
I always say.
Yeah.
I think it's just finding where you want to sit in the market. I mean, I don't want to be the cheapest makeup brand out there, and
Yep.
I know I don't want to be the most expensive. So it's just finding who you want your customer to be, and then
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
naturally
yeah.
fall into that. But I don't think it should be a bad thing that if you're the cheapest or you're the most expensive,
No.
that's just your style of service you're providing,
Yeah.
or your product, or whatever. It just reflects
Yeah.
what you're putting into it.
We'll always be honest. If we'll ask, or people come to us with plans and they say they're getting prices, I'll just tell them straight up, we won't be the cheapest there.
Yeah, yeah.
But what you get at the end of it, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
it's very odd time, like really odd time. Once every few months, you'll send a price to somebody and you could get a phone call back saying, how long is this going to take? And you can maybe say 4 days. They're automatically dividing this 4 days by 2 men, thinking that's where all this cost come from.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kind of just let them slip through that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You kind of, thankfully, we're in a position now. You can pick and choose, but you kind of can.
Yeah.
Most 99% of the work we do, we want to work with people.
Yeah.
But there always that 1% of people who
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
better
yeah.
staying clear of.
I always think this as well. It's when you come with experience, but more recently, when you run your own business, you should, to a point, be able to choose who you work with.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah,
So, like, some of the stuff that I'm sure you guys have done things as well, but some of the stuff we've done, I'm like, why did I put myself through that?
Yeah. Yeah.
When actually now we're at a point to be like, if you can just tell sometimes,
Yeah.
and it's like, actually, this maybe isn't the right partnership, or the right client or whatever the situation is. And now we're in a position that we amicably agree that's not
Yeah,
for us.
well,
And actually,
yeah.
you might be best suited to this person.
Exactly. And you want to be respected the same way you're respecting your customer or client or whoever it is, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If there was another, I'm going to call you a power couple in entrepreneurs, aspiring, what advice would you give them? If they were just starting out in business and they wanted to, start a family, get married, all that journey, is there any advice you could
I think
give
if
them?
I was doing it again, it'd be a lot more relaxed to start with.
Yeah.
I found whenever I done it myself at the start, I kind of was just, this is all or nothing. This is all I have to do.
Yeah.
Which is why I struggled to switch off. And even come back to the customer thing. If somebody had a question, price or something, I would have let that eat me up.
Yeah.
I thought about it for days,
Yep.
nights, get annoyed about it, think
Yep.
I was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But if I was doing it again, it would be very relaxed, as in take all the risks early. I still take risks now because you still have plenty of time to fix it, but definitely take the risks early, and it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Where for the first couple of years, I probably did think this is going to turn my life around in a couple of years, but
Yeah. Like you're
You
going to make a fortune.
you soon
The
realise
start, you
that
never make a
That's
penny.
just if we go back,
just get out of the starting block.
a little bit of like social media and that, I think you see everything, and it's like
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, sleeping on my office floor and hustling.
I know,
and
yeah.
if, that's how you do it, that's how you make all the money. If it's not overnight. Like,
Yeah.
No, it's not. And that
But I
was
think you don't want to burn out at the same time.
No,
do you know?
goodness, absolutely not. What's that phrase? It's like, overnight success is 10 years in the making or something like
Yeah.
that, And I know, like, if you said to Dean and I, like, Nightcap is 12 years this year, and, you'd be like, where you are now, brilliant. Like, that's really good, but you'd have thought given 12 years, you'd probably be further along.
Oh, I thought 5 years ago was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
But that again, I was rushing stuff in my head, trying to get to a certain point and just like chill out here a wee bit.
I think though, because neither of us sat at the start with a business plan, we never really strategically thought, and I'm actually in the 5 years in writing a business plan at the moment.
Plans. Don't understand them.
I know. Well, so I've started writing one, and I said to my mentor today, I wouldn't have been able to write this 5 years ago. And I think even coming back to your question, I suppose, in terms of whether it's, I'm going to answer it from like a power couple.
Yeah, well, no, I'd be interested from a couple perspective.
More of like a couple perspective too, because before business, we've always been workers. I mean, when Tony and I met, he lived in California. I lived in Northern Ireland. I started my first business at 14 as a face painting business for kids' parties. And my mum was driving me to different community centres across the country to do face painting. And then I started into makeup, and I have done jobs and I've worked for people, but I knew it was never for me. I just knew I wanted to give more. But from when Tony and I met, he was working like mad on the other side of the world. I was working like mad here. So we always had to make sure we worked, whether it was together or separately first. We are in or out of work or in or out of our house, we are just best friends. And I think that's what works, that I understand that if he has a mental week or if he's up really early and comes home that night exhausted, and I've maybe been up with Daisy or he's been up with Daisy and we're both exhausted that night, you have to appreciate that both of us are allowed to be exhausted. Doesn't need to be like, yeah, but I got up last night, or we don't have that. And when it comes to kind of parenting and business, then working alongside each other, we are 50-50 with it all. There's no, I always joke about that default parent in life. There always naturally is going to be a default parent thing, whether it's the health visitor coming. I know I'll be at home for that. But for us, it's if we get home and Tony's in the house first, he'll start dinner.
Yep.
And then I'll come in and I'll take over or whatever. It's never a case of he's sitting on the sofa or in the bathroom wasting time waiting for me to come in and pick up. So I think that's why we work as a team, but then also in our marriage, both having our own businesses, that doesn't matter if he's going through it and in the thick of it with something, I'll support that.
Yeah.
When he comes out of that, I'll probably be in the thick of it, and then he supports that. So I think it's just making sure at the end of it we still are best friends, and it's not like a
love that. Sounds
like a
there's
negative thing.
A lot of respect there.
Because when you throw a little one into the mix, that's always going to have another.
That's enough to make or break any business at
and
all.
like before it was just you two before that. Do you know what I mean? So it's important that foundation is always there, and there's that respect and things, and what you were saying there just makes me think of, it's just this modern world that it was so different. And not to hone in on dads, but I feel like certainly my generation, like my friends, my dad, their dads, it was very different. It was like that, like my mum and my mum-in-law will just be like, you're the best dad. You're the stuff you do and all, and it's like I sort of it's like my role, like that. That's the thing, and but it just wasn't like that.
Well, and I think that's just that's obviously just.
I think there's an expectation. No one dads now that you couldn't, like, you genuinely could not get away with that behaviour. Yeah. But I personally wouldn't want that behaviour anyway, so I want to be present.
We have this conversation quite a lot about things like that, and just even holidays, no matter what it is, it's both of us. Yeah. Or if Daisy wakes up in the night, whoever hears her first goes in. Now sometimes my hearing's not great, and then
is it? Right.
Sometimes selective. No, but a lot of the time, I mean, last night Daisy woke up, Tony was snoring, and I hadn't got to sleep yet, so you jump up, and I would never poke him and go, well, I got up last time, or And I think I think it is just the modern day. I think social media.
You have to share the load. That's just that's the way it's going to work.
Especially because we both have our own things going on.
Well, that's it. Two really busy lifestyles.
Yeah, I think definitely there would be some sort of give, and there's people in my life that, for talk's sake, if the husband or whoever, one of the figures in the house is bringing in the money and maybe paying the bills and mortgage, whatever it is, then there's maybe a bit more give. And
yes, of
that
course.
person knows they'll go out and do the food shop, maybe get the dinner on the table type of thing. But when you're both in business and you're both having to bring in X amount of money into your business, or not even your household,
Yeah.
but to then both meet in the middle to pay the mortgage and to pay everything, you have to split it 50-50, because I think you'd really start to begrudge each other.
Yeah,
and I think it would become quite nasty, or quite just,
Yeah.
well, I'm paying for X, Y, and Z, or I'm taking you on holiday, or,
tit for
you know,
tat.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Do
it wouldn't be enjoyable.
Are there times with the business that like either business kind of gets a priority, or is it just like almost like in seasons? If you had a really busy period for contracts, or you had a lot of TikTok lives coming up, or whatever the thing,
Yeah.
or a new product launch,
do
you
you
know,
think?
do you swing in seasons,
We're-
or do you keep it quite consistent?
We aren't really, see, we're just the same
Yeah.
all year round.
Yeah.
I know come November, weekends and stuff like that, it's killing me mental from end of October to
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
I just expect to do more.
Yeah, well, we
Yes,
do like
yeah,
in-store
yeah.
activations, like
Yeah.
pop-ups and
Yeah,
shopping
yeah,
centres,
yeah.
and we're in Bloomfields. Usually every Christmas we're back in this year, so that's Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
It's, you're doing horse
Flat
riding
out.
or birthday parties or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's just,
The only time it really works with us, if we get work that I have to stay away.
yeah.
Yes.
But with definitely this year, we've definitely pulled away from that more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas we got married, went on
Purposely
honeymoon.
out of interest, or
Yeah.
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 We got married, went on honeymoon, and the week we came back, we started the job in Galway that lasted 6 months.
Wow.
So I was away Monday to Friday, not for 6 months, but definitely for a few months anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. Like when Daisy wasn't in the picture, you can do that. I think I totally obviously agree with what Tony said, but also he wouldn't admit that, not necessarily that there are certain things give, but at the minute, you know, I'm probably more so in the thick of it. Obviously there's 6 of us in by Caitlyn. We're going through a rebrand, as we kind of briefly touched on earlier, so which means at the minute a lot of what I'm doing is selling out stock, and for me, my business is obviously very different. I sell a physical product, so cash flow is a complicated thing for us, but in a different way to Tony. I sell a product and it could be £10 or £20. Tony could get a big contract and it could be a bigger sum of money. So for us, especially at the minute with doing a rebrand, I'm trying to sell things obviously on a clearance sale really cheap, which means I'm having to pump money back into new stock that it's a lot harder. So he wouldn't tell you that right now he's having to support me more than ever, because I'm really in the thick of it with work, but also I know that is a seasonal thing that come
Yeah.
the last quarter in the year, and even come really the lead up to Christmas from November, things are going to be busier, sales are going to be stronger,
Yeah.
cash flow is going to be healthier, and next year I'm going to start off on a better feet. But I think this year I was nearly just set up for failure. It was just, I've just been in the thick of it for a year, but I know that's 5 years in. I mean, you're going to get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tony probably mentally has to support me more this year, but
We had to take a different
but-
look at it. Like we chatted
Yeah.
about before, was back in June, I was thinking of Christmas. And this year is the first year where we've just, like, usually we are advertising this time of the year saying who wants what done for Christmas, get it in now, whereas that stopped in June. Because I know how busy I'll be at home
Yeah.
as well. But whereas past few years, like
And
the
that's
day before Christmas Eve, I was working last year.
yeah. That's the experience then, and the data that you know from the last years will
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
you know, if Caitlin's going to be
I think
really
Christmas
busy
is
and-
just a blur. You don't actually
Yeah.
get to
it
switch
really
off.
is.
Because this is the first year in 8 years we'll not be running the roads. We usually
Yeah.
travel just 4 days over Christmas.
We're hosting this year.
Houses,
Oh,
but there everyone's come
wow.
to us this year.
I know.
Yeah,
Very good. When's Daisy's birthday?
November.
November.
She's November. So that year she was born. Izzy's November. I just remember Christmas was like a blur for us in general.
Yes. On my birthday's November as well. I'm
Oh,
the week
busy
after
time.
Daisy. So when Daisy was born, obviously I was kind of still in that recovery phase after. I swear that birthday never existed. So I'm
So you're owed a birthday? Something
I
like
say
that?
this all
Always.
the time. I'm always owed.
I was going to say, I hope you've plenty of work on to pay for November.
I'm
here.
30 next year, and
Oh.
29 this year. Sorry, I'm still 28.
Yeah.
Skipping a year, but
29 forever.
I feel like it nearly didn't happen because
Yeah.
I had Daisy and it was my birthday, which was a blur, and then it was Christmas, and then we decided to buy and renovate a house and all that kind of thing. So even
Yeah,
last
last year was a blur, yeah.
Last year, my birthday nearly didn't exist. We were living with my parents. I woke up in my mum's guest room. He was away to work that day. There was a car beside me, and it was like, get me something when we move into the house. So I'm going to get that
Brilliant.
this year.
So this
I've
is the
got a couple of years
This
to
is
do
the
this
first
year.
full year in the new house.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
we've only got
Yeah.
the
Class.
keys for
Got
the
the
new
keys a
house.
year ago,
Be a year next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. Class.
Never renovated for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Moved in,
Handy to have someone like you about.
started, I know.
For those 10 weeks.
In fairness,
you move out
I'd
after.
done that and then didn't look at a thing for
Yeah.
I don't
6
blame
months.
you.
That's it. I go in hindsight, if we done a renovation again, do it all and then move in. Wait until your
Right.
physical boxes are in the drawer and then
Tips.
do it. Because the
Renovation
problem
tips.
is we moved in Black Friday, which again, mental time of the year.
What were you
Yeah.
thinking,
What-
Caitlyn?
No, we were sitting in the house one Saturday night. Tony found a house online. By the
right.
Monday, our house was on the market, and by the Tuesday, it was sold. Now, fell through, and that was resold a week later. But we're very impulsive and very
Yeah.
decisive. We think of these things and then do it. So, yeah, slightly
that.
regretted that. Didn't really think of the timeline to move in, but we wanted in for Christmas.
Yeah.
But we made it work. And
The extent that
we
works
survived
just
it. We
kept
survived
getting
living with my
bigger
parents.
and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can imagine. We ended
Yeah,
up
yeah.
with just got to the stage where there was no point trying to move
Yeah.
in because there was
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
left. in the
Yeah.
house. We just had to do it all in one
Cool.
go.
Very good.
Yeah.
Right, guys, we're going to move on to a wee quickfire round of questions.
Okay.
So it's either or, his or hers.
Okay.
Right. So here we go. Who's the better bedtime story reader?
Probably me.
Caitlyn.
I thought you were going to say Tony there.
No,
Caitlyn?
probably me.
Right. We've kind of touched on this. Who checks their emails on holiday? Work
Both of
emails.
us.
Both of us. I can't-
Not even necessarily emails, just every form of notification.
Who would check first?
Caitlyn now.
Probably
Yeah,
me because I'm
yeah,
on my
yeah.
phone. I mean, everything goes onto my personal phone, so
Yeah.
I do see it before.
Who is more likely to hit snooze in the morning?
Me.
Absolutely, Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Without doubt. Who's the better cook?
me.
Caitlyn.
Who would be first to suggest a new business idea? I'm wild for it.
Probably both. Well,
I come up with some mad ideas too.
yeah. I would more think about things mentally. I've told him, but I haven't. So probably I'm going to give you that vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who is more organised?
Definitely me.
Okay. No arguments?
In what capacity?
Every
In the
capacity.
house, I've organised. Yes.
Okay.
No, totally. Okay. I'll give you that one.
I'm sure you're organised in your warehouse, are you?
Where
Bad
work's
people
concerned,
do
she
that.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Who's better with money?
Tony.
Me.
Absolutely.
And who's a bigger risk taker?
Caitlyn.
Would you say so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She would go and do things
Yeah, I'm
and
a bit-
then
I'm probably
think
a bit
about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ballsier.
Worry about
I
it
just
after.
think about the
Whereas
consequences after.
I think of things, and if I wanted to buy something, I'd like, yeah, I'll go
Yes.
for it, and
Okay,
then I'll
yeah.
think about it for 3 days, talk myself out of it,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
I have a
do
I'd be a
ball
bit
on
like that.
on.
Whereas
and-
Caitlyn would just
Just do it.
buy, and
yeah,
then
I'm very part of an ADHD where I'm very impulsive,
Yeah.
but I'm also very decisive. But part of that is my excessive spending. I'm very aware of that. Now, when it comes to houses, you're the impulsive one. But when it comes to anything to put in the house, any home decor, I have it bought
That's
and
you.
I've snuck it in the front door and he hasn't seen it.
Very good. The best way to do it.
Yes.
Right, we're going to wrap things up. I want to try and end these conversations with basically if Daisy was going to listen to this in the future, what would you want her to take away from who her mum and dad are and what they're doing at the minute?
Wow. Tony, you go first.
Not to put you on the spot, it's more just...
well, from our point of view, if she grows up and she is passionate about something, I would be more or less pushing her to say, go for it.
Yeah.
Do go for it.
Yeah.
I think
Because it has worked out for us. I stepped
Yeah.
away from journey for almost 5 years, said I was never doing it again, and then moved home from America for about a year after, wasn't it?
I think so.
And then I just kind of fell back in it.
I forced
But,
you out of your job to start a bit.
yeah.
I was like, do it. I'm
it-
such an advocate for being self-employed and being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's all I know, and I just seen what he was capable of, and
Yeah.
and probably will be like that with Daisy. I think we're both very much in the same page
I
with
think
Daisy.
just,
That
and the big thing would be don't fall into the normal, or what's
going to uni and
Yeah, conventional.
that channel,
on
yeah.
tower with your feet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be not a big believer in it, but if you're not set
Yeah.
on doing a certain,
Well, neither of us are very
don't be going to
academic.
uni to
Yeah.
party for 5 years.
I totally agree. I mean, I have a uni degree, and I would be the first now. Any of my staff looking advice and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Jenny, she's a doctor. You know, go be a doctor. I'm going to
Yes,
be a dentist.
exactly.
I'm going to
Absolutely, yeah.
be a vet. It's like those vacationary things. Totally get it. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go study geography. Don't know.
I've
I'm not
learned so
sure-
much
Not sure it's worth
more
it
in the last
personally.
couple of years that like you can't learn unless you're doing it.
I did film
Um,
studies, by the way, and like, do not use it. I could be with you guys helping out. Doing
Yeah,
something, but
yeah.
do not use it whatsoever.
No.
Apart
I
from
think,
on a CV, like you have it.
It's just,
which is
it's just
useless when you run your own business. So yeah,
I toyed with the idea of going back to school
yeah,
after I got my results, and then my mum and dad thankfully said no because I just about
They're gonna have
went
to put
when I
up
was supposed to
listening
go.
to you again.
So they said, "I don't think it's a good idea to try and go back." But like looking back now, thank God I didn't.
yeah.
I'm the same. I left after my IIS levels. I done my II level, the first year, really just to please my parents because they wanted me to go back to school. No interest, and I didn't even care for the results because I didn't want. I had no plan on using them. And we're very much similar in terms of our parenting with Daisy, and I want her to always grow up knowing what we do for her. Even at the minute, I mean, she wanted a climbing frame for the garden, and she knows that mum and dad were working hard to get the climbing frame, and she's coming after her day after doing a bit of work. Dad wears the climbing frame, and he was like, "Oh, right, well, need a few more quid for that." But even last night, he was putting her to bed, and I nipped in. And I said, "I have to go back to work for a while." She woke up about midnight, and I went straight in. She goes, "Mum, how was work?" And she recognises what we do. She knows that we go to work, and I don't think, hope I can say it myself, but I don't think she'll ever begrudge us for it, or she'll ever look back and go, "I wish my parents were there," because we still out there. We try and be as present when we're with her.
Yeah.
But also growing up with working parents or working class parents, you know, that's the norm nowadays. It's not the norm for the father to go out to work and the woman to stay at home. So we're always very much with Daisy. We both pay into her at savings every month, and we've always said that come a certain age, she'll get that money and she'll either go away and buy a property or invest that in something. And just because that would have been glorious to have that from my parents, I'm one of 6, so that wasn't the case, and it was a different day and age. Just the money wasn't there. So I want to just be able to do that for her, whether she takes on by Caitlyn or THV, who knows. But I think she will recognise what we do without maybe having to even watch this, and hopefully she grows up for the next kind of 15, 20 years and then realises what we've done for her and how hard we've worked.
Absolutely. And you've done a great job thus far.
Thank you.
Right, what's going on at the minute? I know you've alluded to the rebrand. If there's anything you just want to talk about, and let us know where we can find you on socials and whatnot.
Where can't you find me at the
if
minute?
you don't already follow Caitlyn.
We're going through a rebrand just quite naturally. Initially,
is that like a 5-year refresh sort of thing, or is there any?
Do you know what? At the start, I launched a product, and I never thought of a brand. I never ever thought of a bigger picture. We launched different kind of lines within by Caitlyn, and everything looks so different. And we never had a brand guideline. We never really had an aesthetic that we were working off. It was very much we designed a product to that product, and then I looked at it all when it came to going into the likes of stockists. We secured a stockist this year in Be Perfect Megastore, and it came to putting it on their shelf, and I went, oh, everything looks so different, and it was just that really pivotal point for us. So we're going through a rebrand, which means really in the next year I want it to roll out everything just to be all a certain aesthetic and just a real vibe, and yeah, I'm really. Do
you have a timeline for that, or is it kind of ongoing?
No, I'm having to just phase out really
on the fly.
We'll do another hopefully shutter up sale, and that'll be a success, and get rid of lots of stock. But no, just because cash flow. I mean, we're both self-funded businesses and both the only people in the business. So whenever it comes to investment and things like that, obviously it's harder. If I had a cash injection, it'd be lovely. I would roll it out.
Anybody out there?
So yes, we are doing the rebrand. Really just, I want everything to look really strong. I want it to be something I'm really proud of, which I am, but not as a brand. I want to look at it and go, that's my products. So yeah, we are, you buy our products on Amazon, on our website by Caitlyn.co.uk, and in Be Perfect Megastore online and in their store. And of course, all our socials by Caitlyn, or my personal socials are Caitlyn Lendrum. And that's where you find me. You probably won't find him anywhere bar his website.
That's all we need. What's the website?
THV Contracts.
THVcontracts.com.
.com.
Perfect. And we have .co at Fox's Den, and I had it with my beer company as well.
Yeah.
And everybody gets so confused.
Well, we're .com and UK because we accidentally printed a sign, the one outside, the big one, .com, and then we looked at it and went, our website's .co.uk, so we had to buy both domains. But
dear.
You'll find Tony on Instagram and on his website.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for calling down.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Really appreciate you and everything you do.
Our first podcast.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Not that traumatizing.
Thank you very much.
You did it. Thank you so much.